You got this?
I got it. Okay. Yesterday, my mom got into that epic fight with me, and we haven't really recovered from it. She's not really filling me in as much about everything, but that's just the way she is. She's a busy person. And I don't mean to sound ungrateful because I love my mother. It's just always been really difficult to talk to her. And I think that that is something that Madison and I bonded over, because her dad is exactly the same way. Speaking of which, my mom has a new friend. My mom and Gregory Adkins are now in contact about everything, and they've kind of taken the situation out of our hands. I don't know. I mean, I'm glad that we got my mom involved, and in hindsight, we should have done it sooner, but like I said, it's just impossible to convey this kind of stuff to her, you know? Before the boys came into our lives, I had a lot of dreams. I wanted to go off far, far away. When I was little, we were dirt poor. Like, the biscuits from Crisco for breakfast, poor. It's because we couldn't afford anything else. My mom worked really hard to get us out of there. My mom is the only person that's been with me my whole life. She's all I have. Which is why I wish it was that much easier to just talk to her. And I've lived in this small town for forever. I had 24 people in my graduating class in high school. And I had plans. I wanted to go to NYU or Columbia. And I had auditions lined up at different kinds of acting academies and drama academies and music academies. I went to the Dorothy Knost Music Workshop. I was a Marlowe Award nominee for several years in a row from local theater. My mother was like, well, if you're going to be Mr. Movie Star, Mr. Theater, well, I'm not going to support that. So I worked my ass off to do well in school, but when my godmother died, I more or less became a single parent. And my mom pulled the rug out from under me and said that I could go off to college, but it would have to be somewhere nearby. So I took the ACT when I was 16. I got a 22 on my first try. That was a high enough score to get me into OU, so I didn't try anymore after that. But the funny thing was, before I graduated, I came home one day and the nursery was empty, and the grown-ups had decided that the kids were too much. So I went from being a single parent to being expected to be a carefree college kid. It didn't work. And even though college wasn't ideal, I loved the freedom and the independence. And I started to get my life together, you know? And then when I graduated last year, all of that fell apart. And after everything that happened in Florida the last time, Mom made it very clear that she didn't want me leaving this house for a while. I can't make it without my mom's help, so it's kind of like I'm being held ransom. Before Aurora showed up, I hadn't had any contact with anybody outside of my family in a really long time. And after we got into that big fight, I don't know, Mom's been looking at me differently. Her and Greg are going to take care of everything now. And I'm going to go along and follow behind when the big day comes. I wish that I could have shared all of this with my mom the day it happened. Or even 5 years ago when we were helping Madison the first time. In fact, I wish I didn't even have to ask for help. I need to call Madison. Aurora, was that you?
No. PJ, you want to get out here?
Here. PJ, if you want to stop Zip, you'll need this.
What in the world?
I have no idea.